Stories can entertain, stories can educate. Hearing a story can open your eyes to truths and possibilities you were not aware of. Telling a story can help you work through the complexities of life's narrative. Sharing our stories helps us to recognize the common thread that weaves our communities together. It also exposes those areas where we have allowed barriers to divide us. The Arroyo Channel is a repository for the stories of our community. It's where our beliefs, interpretations, and ideals are combined, giving birth to new aspirations. So stick around and let's see what stories our guests have to share for us today. First guest has been telling stories here at the Arroyo Channel for a little while now, so let's go straight into the interview, and I want to welcome Alice Muhammad to the stage.
Thank you.
How are you?
Nice to be here. I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Do you remember the first time you came through our doors?
Yes, it was March of 1993. I bicycled in Farrakhan Speaks, and it's been airing ever since. I believe that was when we were over in Hensteenth.
In 93?
Right.
That was on Hudson. That was at
Hudson?
the school district.
Was it Hudson?
Yeah. Well, was it? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I do remember actually starting out with Beth Layton, and that's where I was going there at, 351 South
351
Hudson?
South Hudson.
Right. And the rest is history. So for the last 25 years, Farrakhan Speaks has been airing back to back, just sharing instruction, information, guidance, everything that's relevant to what is currently going on in the world as we speak.
And since then, you've actually started to produce your own program. Was that something you had always intended to do?
No. Actually, I prefer to be behind the scenes, seriously. Circumstance kind of led me to just, when the opportunity presented itself, I went through the certification with Pasadena Media. Still, I wasn't ready to be, as a host. That didn't happen until 2010 of January. And I kind of was having this internal war with myself, trying to figure out what type of platform. I didn't want to have a talk show. So I said, well, what type of information could I share with the masses of the people that could be informative, inspirational, and really give us a connect the dots kind of message, if you will, to connect Bible prophecy with current events, again, as we currently see. And that's mainly my message. Whatever I'm sharing, I try to share it as the scripture says, there's nothing new under the sun. So scripture is just that, script that was written, not necessarily for things that have happened in the past, but what we are right now, present tense, going through. Okay. What we're seeing.
And I remember, because you've been through every class we've had, and you've kept your skills up. You host, you've directed shows, I believe. Yeah, you jumped in the director's seat once or twice.
Probably, but
you've volunteered on a lot of shows.
Right,
You've helped a lot of people on a lot of different shows.
Yes.
And that's something that we definitely appreciate here at the Arroyo Channel. Why don't we go ahead, we're going to take a look at a clip from your show so we can have an idea of what it is your show is about, and then we'll come back and talk about kind of the process you went through and how you got from 93 delivering a 3/4-inch U-matic videotape to today where you're producing your own show and delivering it and running it on the channel.
Okay.
Let's take a look at that.
Greetings. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, we thank Allah for coming to us in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, to whom praises are due forever. We thank Allah for giving to us the Messiah, the living exalted Christ, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, and we further thank Allah for blessing us with our divine leader, teacher, and guide, and warner in our midst, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. So we can see that the NFL in and of itself is a monopoly. Real monopoly, okay? Not the game. It's a game, but these people are playing for real. And really, the NFL players, the black players that they look at, that is the plantation, the new modern day plantation. The players do make money, but it is nowhere in the billions of the dollars, okay? Trust, know, and believe that, okay? There would be no NFL without black players. They can resist the anthem policy. As if my memory serves me correctly right now, the anthem is on hold. They're debating how and what direction they're gonna go with the national anthem as the NFL season rolls in. Some of the NFL players are taking a knee despite the fact that they have been told. They said they will boycott and they will protest accordingly. The NFL and its 32 team owners have introduced a policy requiring players to stand for the national anthem. Those refusing to do so have two options: stay in the locker room until the Star-Spangled Banner ends, or risk being fined for non-compliance. This is an obvious violation of players' First Amendment rights, and the issue is inescapably about race. And I beg to agree with that, because you have 32 owners who consulted among themselves with no regard to the players, looking at them as property, really, and their input really was insignificant. According to data from the Institute for Diversity and Ethics in Sport, 94% of the NFL franchise owners and 75% of head coaches are white. NFL Commissioner Robert Goodell and most of the league's top executives are white. Blacks own majority stakes in none of the 32 teams. Only 7 NFL head coaches in 2017 were black.
Pretty heavy subject matter. You get right in. You don't waste any time. You jump in. One of the things I have noticed about your show, because I've watched both passively and actively your program over the years, is you really do tie in a lot to current events. You bring in different perspectives. Different people are going to have different opinions on all of the issues. But one of the things we exercise here is that you should be able to have the right to state your opinion. And I got to say, a lot of times you gather information to try to back it up. So tell me what your process is for when you're putting together one of your shows, because you kick out quite a lot of content. You don't come in here and just do one show and be done for the next month or two.
I basically I listen to what is going on in the world. I really kind of just flow with the spirit. That inner voice, that inner intuition, if you will. I try to see what is happening in the world that somewhere in Scripture it's there, okay? It's there. I mean, it's just, you just have to know how to hear. I grew up in the church, so a lot of things that I didn't understand when I was growing up in the church, I'm beginning to thoroughly understand now, because it's like a scripture, a live play that is playing out right in front of us, okay? So it's like when as I plan, and I try to really plan in advance, okay, and say, okay, I got this much time from the last show to this show, so why don't I come up with a topic? But then something happens from the time that I know that, okay, maybe I should talk about this, and then the Spirit will come and just say, no, this is what you should probably speak on.
And how many shows do you do typically, like within maybe? If
I'm lucky, 3. Okay. Mostly 2.
So like 3 every time you shoot, you're coming and you're doing 2 to 3 shows.
Right.
Okay, and you talked about how the topics come to you. You're measuring what happens on the news, maybe compared to what you see in Scripture, and drawing all that together. But you also said before we went to the break that it took you a while before you decided to step out in front of that camera. So what was the thing that actually made you decide to make that leap?
I guess it's called the self-accusing spirit.
Okay.
That It was, I felt like if I didn't use my voice in a positive manner to share information, inspire, motivate the masses of the people, that I felt like God gave me a voice. Most of the time, my experience has been on radio, so I've been kind of behind the scenes. And I felt like, okay, if I don't use, and I was still using current events, I was doing world news on radio, but it was just something that said to me that you need to use your platform in a realistic, spiritualistic, scriptural perspective, and tie this in to the current events that is currently going on, so we, the people, can see, again, there's nothing new under the sun. And as the show is entitled, The Sure Truth, I was inspired to name the show that from Surah 69, chapter 69 of the Holy Quran, where it asks, what is the sure truth, and what will make thee realize what the sure truth is, okay? We know that God created the universe on truth, with truth, and it's all about truth. So it speaks for itself.
So how important do you think it is, because you've actually seen this organization go through several different phases, different changes over its lifetime. What are some of the ways that those changes have affected you as a producer, or even as a person who was just at one point in time offering a program, versus what the current process is? Like, has it been useful to you, helpful to you? What are some of the challenges? I want to hear the good, the bad, and the ugly.
It's been challenging, and it's been useful. When I'm out and about, I try to encourage people as I'm conversing with them. Depending on what their background, some are doing as myself. When I first came, I went and was going through a career change. Okay, so someone had mentioned to me about Beth Layton and to contact her, and I did. So it has helped me to really understand mass media, so to speak. The importance of having a media facility in the communities, so to speak. I actually happened to be at one of the shopping centers in South Pass. And as I got up to the counter to pay for my merchandise, the cashier says to me, "How are you?" And we exchanged words of greetings, and he said, "I watch your show." And I said, "Really?" And that, I wasn't even expecting that, but what it showed me is that the community is watching.
Right.
They're tuned in, okay? Anyone that wants to have skills, develop pre-production, production, studio production, post-production, I can't think of a better facility to come and acquire those skills, okay?
Well, we do pride ourselves on that, and I do appreciate you for saying that, because you, like I said, you've seen it go through its growing pains and all of that, and I'd like to think that we're still hitting the mark. I like to think that we're still doing what it is we're supposed to do. So I appreciate that. That actually wraps it up for this segment of the program. I want to thank you for joining us on the show, and you guys can watch on the Arroyo channel. If you go to pasadenamedia.org, you should be able to find The Short Truth on the website, and just look it up, The Short Truth. Thank you again.
Thank you.
We'll be right back after this break.
Sign up for Head Start, a free educational program for 3- and 4-year-olds located in Pasadena and throughout the San Gabriel Valley, serving low-income working and non-working families and those in training. Our Head Start features a program preparing for kindergarten success, well-trained and caring teachers, healthy meals and snacks, resources for parents, and additional support for children who are homeless, in foster care, or have a disability. Prepare your child for school success by giving them a head start. Learn more at optionsforlearning.org.
Thank you for watching the Arroyo Channel, a public service of Pasadena Media. Pasadena Media is supported by the City of Pasadena and your generous donations. Thank you.
Hate mosquito bites? No need to fright. There are simple ways to fight the bite. Eliminate sources of standing water. Mosquitoes need motionless water to lay eggs in. Add pumps to water features. keep them chemically treated, or stock them with fish. Make sure tubs and buckets are covered, or drill some holes into them so water drains out. Keep mosquito-repelling plants like citronella, basil, and lavender near windows and outdoor hangouts. Historically, mosquitoes are active in the evening. However, invasive breeds in the area are active all day. So if bites are a problem, take precautions all day long. When outdoors, wear long sleeves and pants. Repellents with 10 to 30% DEET as an active ingredient are proven to work very well. Be sure to read the label for proper application. Mosquito-borne disease is projected to grow globally and continue to claim more than 1 million lives yearly. If you're aware of problem areas or have questions, call 626-814-9466 and fight the bite.
My next guest actually has quite a story of her own and is going to share stories from others. Let's go ahead and get right into it. Tell us who you are, where you're from, and how you ended up here.
Okay, my name is Karren McKnight, and I moved to Burbank from the Central Coast, and my daughters were telling me, they're like, Mom, you need to get a life. You need to start pursuing some of your dreams. And I was like, well, yeah, I agree with that. And then one day my phone started vibrating. I was like, what's going on? And it was one of those text things from Eventbrite or something like Meetup, and it talked about coming over to Pasadena Media for an orientation. And I was like, well, what is this all about? And she said, well, you need to go over there and find out what it's all about. So I came over here, and Aaron gave this wonderful orientation to tell about all of your programs, all of your classes, the different certificates and things that you can acquire, taking the classes and volunteering here. And I was both excited and scared all at the same time, and I just started following everything that he said to do, and I started taking the classes and coming to volunteer on the shows, and it's just it's been a wonderful dream come true. I just love it. I love it.
And did you have something in mind when you came in?
No, because you have to, for me, I'm getting ready to try to realize my dreams that I've put on hold, to raise children, to, work in the workforce and everything. And it's you kind of like want to do everything, but then you kind of don't want to do anything. And I just wanted to look around and see, and between people like Jared and you and Ian and Danielle, it's like, no, you just got to jump in there and do it. And I'm like, what do you mean just come to and volunteer and just work on some people's shows and just do it? So that's what I've been doing for about a month and a half, and it's both thrilling and exciting and scary all at the same time.
It's been at the same time kind of the longest and the shortest month and a half ever.
Yes.
The orientation was not that long ago.
No, it wasn't.
A month and a half, like you said. And you must have volunteered on every show.
I tried. I did. I really tried. And like I said, it was exciting and everything. And then it gets the juices flowing, and then you start thinking about what kind of show that you want to do, because you see all these other people doing these amazing shows, and it's really real because it's really television. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of what happened to me.
So what are some of the shows, like some of the people that maybe outside of the staff, Jared, Aaron, Ian, myself, some of the volunteers, like what has your experience been working with the volunteers and other producers around here?
You know what? I tell you, it has been amazing, because I know that they have been here. Some have started kind of like when I did, and others have been here for a while, and they're so encouraging. They're so inspiring, and they include you. They want you to help on their projects. And I think that's the best part, because it's like we're all learning together, and it's no judgment, no you know more than me or whatever. It's just get in.
Even from me?
Well, I call being dealing with you being in Chevelle mode.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or
It is a
getting
different
or
experience.
getting my Chevelle on.
Okay. I'm
But
now an
it's-
adjective.
Yeah, but it's wonderful because I love to watch your mind work, the details are like you're very detailed. So I follow you around, I watch what you do, and I just try to think along those lines. I don't know.
One experience that I know we warned you about, and I don't think you took it serious, was directing the show. It was last month.
I don't think that I was properly warned.
Well, we hinted at
No,
it.
yeah.
But you did it, and it was a very well done show. You did a good job.
Thank you. And that surprised me because I wanted to do it and then I didn't want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But once I got started, it was amazing. It was magic. And now I'm hooked. I don't want to be hooked. I really don't, but I am. And I've learned so much from you all, from the top all the way to everyone. Even the CEO, George, came and helped me set up a shot. And I was just like, wow. Someone could take that time. And everything that he set me up with was exactly what I learned in Jared's class. And I was actually getting a chance to do it. I was like, oh yeah, dolly in, truck to the right,
I actually
truck to the
remember
left.
the last class that I taught. I don't teach a whole lot of classes, but you had actually started stepping in, co-teaching my class.
I was just trying to help.
Because after your month of experience, you'd acquired all these skills, and it was very helpful. And it was definitely good to see that taking root and you actually applying that. So
thank you.
I mess with you, but I appreciate it.
Your classes are excellent. I couldn't help but throw my 2 cents in. I didn't want you to miss anything.
Well, you made sure of that. But right now, at this point, you're actually kind of at a pivot point because you are actually looking to move forward on a show of your own. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes.
Just a little bit, because we're going to show a little bit of it in a second.
Okay. You all inspired me to resurrect a project that I had started a couple years ago and was not able to bring to fruition. And once I got here and the encouragement and the inspiration that you all have given me, I'm like, I'm going to go for it. And I talked to you all about it, and you're like, hey, start preparing, start getting yourself ready. And so I went out with a friend of mine who's been helping me with the project, and we went out and took some shots and put together something to, get things started again. So.
Showtime. Let's take a look at the project. When we come back, we're going to ask her a few questions about how it is she's going to make this dream become a reality, or the next step in your video evolution. Let's take a look.
There is a deep-seated human need to communicate in times of grief. It's natural to want to leave something behind to honor a life that's gone. Share your story on how a street roadside memorial keeps your family or friends' memories alive. Write to us at nottobeforgotten1@gmail.com.
So that looks like a pretty powerful project. From looking at that, like some people might think they have an idea of what it is. Why don't you go ahead and explain exactly what the concept is?
Well, over the years, I have noticed that quite a few people honor their loved ones with roadside or street side memorials. And I really want to find out from people why, what led them to want to honor their loved one or their friend in that way. And so I decided to do this show because I want people to be able to tell their stories. I want them to share why it was important to them to put a street side or a roadside memorial up for someone that was special to them.
And as part of this, because I actually saw some paperwork come through one of our channels, and you've submitted, because you're looking for people to appear and tell their stories.
And tell their stories.
So you've been paying attention in your producer classes, because you didn't just come in like, oh, let's just talk. You're putting in some groundwork and you're gathering information. You seem like a very meticulous person.
The classes that you all give here are so wonderful, and so it covers everything, and it just gets your juices flowing. And then we also have a chance to come and actually talk to you and get ideas, and and so I just keep moving forward based on what I'm learning here, and all the inspiration that I'm getting from you all.
So do you have a target date for when you want to start pushing record on those cameras?
The beginning of the year.
Okay.
Yeah, the beginning of the
So
year.
you're winding up. As the year winds down, you're winding up.
Yes, I'm using the rest of this time to prepare, to get stories, to interview people, and to be able to put it on air. And I'm very excited.
Okay. I am too. I'm really curious to see what comes out of this, because I've seen some stuff besides what you showed here, and it looks like it really could be a very powerful project. So I'm encouraged. That's actually all the time we have. So that was a fast 4, 5, 12 minutes. I'm not sure what it was, but we'll have you back again soon. Don't you worry. With that, I do want to thank both our guests, Alice Mohammed and Karren McKnight, for joining me on Arroyo Profiles, and all of the members of our volunteer crew. Got Out over there, Sarah over there. Oh, she's over there now. I hope you found this show both entertaining and informative. If you're interested in learning how you can get involved, look at Pasadena Media on all our usual social media platforms. And for those of you who want to do more than like, follow, and subscribe, head over to pasadenamedia.org, sign up for our free classes, and we offer training for everyone who's interested in learning about television. So whether you're interested in pushing the buttons or pushing your point of view, this is the place for you. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you on the Arroyo channel.